The All-Star game was bad, like really bad. It's Tuesday. I took a day off to reflect on everything I just witnessed. And I really got to say, this year's All-Star game really might have been one of the worst, if not the worst All-Star game that I've ever watched from the NBA. And this is not me just talking. Here's some film.
Let's see what he's going to go.
That's what the people wanted.
Got a chance at an MVP this year. There's Damian Lillard.
Just a cool 30-piece for Dame Dollar.
Uh-oh. What? Oh, wow. That was multiple flat tires. That was the Motor Speedway flat tire. Oh, my God. Y'all see this?
Okay, before we talk about this, shout out to Jaylen Brown, because we barely see any All-Stars in the dunk event anymore. We just don't see it. Me personally, I think the dunk event's been washed for a couple years now, if I'm being quite honest. But to think that people would go crazy over you dunking over 5'6" Kai Cenat, sitting down, by the way, is absolutely crazy to me. I thought that was one of the worst dunks of the night. Literally taking someone smaller than you sitting down. There is no crazy stake, and you missed it. It's one thing to do that for like the star name or whatever you might want to call that, but for Kai to be sitting down, for you to still miss the dunk, and it still gets a higher rating than better dunks we saw before that, is absolutely ludicrous to me, and continues to show you why the dunk contest is absolutely cooked as an event. And in the clips from the All-Star game, I mean, bro, we literally saw Luka miss a wide open dunk, but before that, look at the defense being played on Dame. Literally no defense being played at all. He walks to the paint. Luka gets a wide open dunk, misses the wide open dunk, and then Dame makes a logo three. The entirety of the All-Star game literally went like this, with players not really trying too hard. The East blowing out the West. Despite the West having better talent, the West is really not showing up to play. Jokic and Luka laughing and kikiing the entire day. You're seeing the East just take a ton of threes. They took 97 threes. The East took 97 threes. The West took 71. The effort simply was not there from these teams in the All-Star game. And for a lot of people, they're shocked and disappointed, but the All-Star game, truthfully, has had a problem for many, many years with the effort that we're seeing from guys. It's been an issue, and I've seen some weaker ways to address it. I've seen people say, oh, well, you know what we should do, guys? Hey, what if we took the team that won the All-Star game and we gave them home court advantage? That is the dumbest thing I've heard of. So you're telling me that for an exhibition event that is looked at to be a meaningless game to a severe degree by current day players. Anthony Edwards literally just spoke about this, by the way. But you're telling me that in this event, whoever wins it should get the right to have home court advantage in the finals, when in reality, that should always be determined by the duration of the season. Who won the most games, who's earned it in that way, compared to evaluating that off of an All-Star game. That makes no sense to me at all. At this point with the All-Star game, I think it's really going to fluctuate based on location and based on years. After Kobe's passing, you saw a lot of engagement and activity with the All-Star game, but now it's starting to return more to how some of the previous games were with the effort. And I think that's just not something that you can outright incentivize them to change it, because regardless, the game isn't going to matter. And honestly, I don't think the game should matter to an extent where we're changing things about the regular season just to make one game more impactful. I think it kind of just is what it is, and it's going to be a variance event from year to year. I think what you have to do is make the overall longevity of the All-Star weekend better. I think the skills challenge is okay. It's had some good years. It's had some bad years, but also that's not an event that I really care to watch either. The three-point contest quite literally has become the main event for All-Star. And before that, it used to be the dunk contest. We already spoke on that. That's pretty bad. Now it's the three-point contest. People were so excited to watch the three-point contest, especially the Steph and Sabrina competition, which for a lot of people was bridging the gaps between WNBA fans and NBA fans, and even the casual viewer, because you're seeing the best shooter ever in Steph take on Sabrina, who's also a very good shooter. And for people that might not have known, she broke the entire like 3-point contest record, dropping a record 37 in the 3-point contest. So to see that generated people's care, and it really carried the entire Saturday for All-Star. So to me, I guess just fully leaning on that and identifying that as the main draw is a good thing. And maybe adding some variety, like a 1v1 tournament, which I've heard a lot of people talking about. And I gotta be honest, I like that idea, I really do. But I'm not gonna hold you. If I get a competition where it gets down to the end and it's like Rudy Gobert versus Draymond Green or something like that, it's not gonna be must watch. But I think they have to try something, because this event each weekend is dying every year. It's getting the views, which is cool, but in terms of the watchability and how good the All-Star weekend is, it's just not what it was, if we're being quite honest. It's just crazy that we're having this conversation, because I promise you, never in my life did I think I would turn it on and see Kai Cenat sitting down in the chair as the dunk attempt of the night. I just didn't think I would see that. And the fact that we reached this level really shows how disengaged everyone in the All-Star game is. And I hear people complaining about, oh, well, they're getting paid and it's like they got to give us much better product. I can agree with that to a certain extent, but I also feel like from their perspective, they just don't care. They don't look at All-Star anymore as the time to like show the world who they are, because now you have social media, which is a big thing that's really impacting the likeness of these players. They don't need the All-Star game to boost them anymore. All-Star is a thing to make in name. Yes, I'm an All-Star, great. Like several weeks before this All-Star game, people were in heated debates about who's the All-Star or who's not. Nowadays, the phrase All-Star is just a term that people want to be called to feel like they belong. But in terms of actually seeing the game, I don't think we need to see the game anymore. And that might sound crazy. That might sound blasphemous. But I'm going to be so real. If the NBA chose to not do a All-Star game anymore from this point, I think I would be fine. I think giving these players more rest and making the season a bit more condensed would be great. Obviously, from a numbers perspective, we know that's not going to happen. They're going to always have an All-Star game. But we're literally at the point where guys care more about being called an All-Star than playing in the game like an All-Star with effort on both ends. You just don't see it. So to me, I don't know how you change this event. I think it's kind of broken, and we're kind of just are where we are year after year after year. And this is going to be my last time making an All-Star video, unless I see something crazier in the future than a Jaylen Brown missed dunk over Kai Cenat. That is crazy. Those are my thoughts on the All-Star game. I think it's a cooked product. I'm not sure how we fix it. Maybe add a 1v1 tournament and we'll see where that goes. But honestly, I'm over All-Star. We're about to start the second half of the season. I'm super excited for what that is to bring. We're seeing a lot of teams that got better from the trade deadline, but now it's all about maximizing it for this final push. The West is a dogfight, as we know. My team, the Golden State Warriors, are in the play-in. Let's see what they can do for the second half. The Lakers might be a name. The Mavericks look a lot better after their trade. So it's some good hoops to watch and witness. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. I know I said that the next video is going to be the podcast. It will not be. The podcast will be dropping on Friday. I'm booking it, people. Friday. Okay, you can clip this. Friday, the podcast is going to be dropping. But before that point, I am going to have a preview and predictions video for the rest of the Western and Eastern Conference before we get to Thursday tip-off, which is also going to feature the Lakers versus Golden State fresh out the gate. Should be a jam-packed game. If you want to watch that live with me on Playback Tap In, because we watch a ton of these games live with my gold-blooded co-host members, KB and Denver. Links and all that will be in the description if you care about that. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the All-Star game. Was a dunk contest weak? Is the three-point contest surely the best thing they have left? What would you do to change the All-Star game? Let me know, people. And as always, I will catch you in the next piece of work that I upload. I'm trying. Let's make a hard push for the rest of 2024. Peace out, people. Have a good one.